you get it? Is it on?
Are we going? Or not going?
Check. I don't know.
Your guess is as good as mine.
We have entered full holiday brain mode. Don't worry, clients. We still have your back. We're wrapping up. We are wrapping up your deals.
Welcome to another episode of Taking Over the World with Ed and Aaron. And we are actually taking over the world. We have some exciting news.
Oh, which one are you going with?
We don't know. We don't have it yet. It's not confirmed. But
Okay.
It's in the process of working.
But the thought process of taking over the world is ongoing.
Oh, it's always
ongoing.
It's never
During
stops.
this call today, there was a subject that we were talking to, or
Yes.
you were really talking to. I was kind of listening in the
No, and you left too, and you came back like you were in your own
Listen.
thing.
Had to take care of something, and then had to write an offer. I apologize.
Oh,
okay, here we go.
Here we go,
Okay.
big shot.
Here we go. But I was dying laughing on the inside when they were like, when is kind of like your timeline? And I'm like, in my brain, I'm thinking like, freaking like, 2022? Like, what do you mean? Like 2 years ago, last week, yesterday? And you're like, first year. I was like, oh, homeboy's going to give it 2 weeks this time. You know, like, I've never seen anything you do is like, yeah, maybe in like 2 weeks. It's like yesterday, today, I was doing today. Like,
It's funny. I'm going to talk to my coach tomorrow, and he's going to be like, did you have your conversation? Yeah. How'd it go? Well, it went like this. Okay, great. And so when are you kicking this off? 2 weeks? You're giving it 2 weeks?
that's what I'm saying.
He's going to be like,
normally for you to
"That's
kick
not like
something
you."
off, I agree.
Yeah, well, the thing is, there's questions. So, when the subject is about doing the things that we want to do, and we're talking to people, the more people we bring into our world that are very skilled at what they do.
Yeah.
There takes some planning. There takes some type of conversations where my thing is just run through the wall and we'll just figure it out. Obviously, I think I tore my bicep because I was just working out. Like I didn't think about it. And then, smart me because I'm the most intelligent one in the group, which is hilarious. I kept working out afterwards, which is great. I went yesterday and the physical therapist that I went to was like, yeah, I think you tore it, dude.
And you're like, excuse me, WebMD says I have not officially torn it, so thank you for playing.
She's like, I think you may need surgery. I'm like, oh, no, we're not having surgery. Then I'm Googling, like, okay, because I don't want to have, like, general anesthesia. I'm like,
right.
Can they do bicep surgery with local anesthesia?
I didn't even know you had to be put under for
You do.
bicep surgery.
They usually do. They usually put you
We're
under.
actually just talking about that. I think the only time I've ever been put under is having my wisdom teeth taken out.
So I don't want to be put under. I just want to
Why?
I ain't got time for that. I could be working while they're working on my shoulder.
Get out of here, dude. You're full of it.
Why?
Take a little siesta, bro.
I could be listening to music, chilling. I don't need to be asleep.
But that's not working. That's just like...
No, but I could be working and trying to figure out our next move.
Bro, rest the brain. Let the anesthesia just put you into some melancholy.
No,
bro.
Nope, don't want that.
You'll become out
People
revitalized.
People wake up and want to get sick. And, I'm not. I got time for that.
Ain't we got time for that?
No, bro. Just numb my arm and let's go. Like just
Okay.
make it puff up like a balloon, go in, or the scopoly fix. You got to go and let's go.
I'm out. I'm all out. Thankfully, I haven't had to have... I don't think really any surgery. Oh, man. Here, you can knock...
Yeah, you better knock everywhere, bro. This is not good.
Okay.
So what do you got planned for the holidays?
I don't...
We're getting creeping up on. So unfortunately we're not going to do podcasts for the next 2 weeks.
Right.
For Christmas and New Year's.
Right.
I'm going to be gone 1 week. You're gone the next week. So we're just going to shut it down for a couple weeks. Then we'll ramp it back up after the New Year.
Local.
With hopefully some
easy stuff. Yeah, just low key. We'll be here for a while. Then we're gonna swing out to Arizona for a while. But you said something earlier, and I realized why this is just the greatest time of the year. One, we just had Thanksgiving, so like I'm still full from Thanksgiving. Like, what a glorious, underappreciated holiday. I feel like next year I'm gonna put together a petition to get Thanksgiving. I guess you got the turkey, but like. Like Christmas has like Santa Claus,
Gobble.
The elves, I'm not sure what they have Hanukkah. I mean, I'm sure they have their own things.
They have the
menorah.
There you go.
Hanukkah, Harry. I don't know if that's a thing. I'm just kidding. I want a full character that just like besides
What's the character
turkey.
for Halloween?
I think your standard like witch, broom, ghost.
Okay.
You know, like I think everyone has like their own.
And then you have the Day of the Dead the next day after Halloween.
And that's just your standard face.
That's your
But
skeleton face.
here's what I've decided is that you made a point. Is starting last night.
I made a point. Okay.
Yeah, like starting last night, it is on like Donkey Kong. We get so much football this time of year.
Oh, football's great.
I mean, like you wake up like in the random like Thursday at like 2:30, somebody's playing in like the Mayonnaise Bowl, you know, and it's
yesterday
like
was
I saw West Virginia and Memphis.
Yeah, yesterday was a bowl guy. I had that on.
I know, me too. That's what I'm saying. Like every night, now we're in that time of the year. Like, wow,
glorious
it's glorious.
football.
That's what I'm saying. Like it is freaking amazing, and I'm so excited, and I'm all in on it because
I'm
like
not.
every day we have football now coming.
I am not.
Why?
Because, unfortunately, my Miami Hurricanes blew it. My Miami Dolphins have blown it.
Sucks to suck, bro.
Your Arizona Cardinals are doing okay. They're doing okay.
There, yeah, but
And your Arizona your
Sun Devils,
right?
Yeah.
Yes, and Arizona State is like
Scatterboo and Levitt just leading the way. Our team's looking solid.
They got a game on
We're playing the
Friday-
Peach Bowl
on the first.
first on the Peach Bowl. So
That's the first bowl game though.
no. I think the playoffs start. I think
that's
the 20.
round 2. That's round 2.
Just Friday or this
I'm
weekend.
Sorry, you guys have a bye.
Yeah, bro.
So it's round 2.
Get yourself
That's right.
right. Get yourself
No,
right.
I gotta get myself
I
right.
saw yesterday they're already coming out with 2025 overreaction early Heisman candidates. Yeah,
Scatterboo?
boy. No, he graduates. But Levitt, our quarterback, the ASU quarterback's on the watch list already.
What do you think of the Heisman?
I mean, I think Travis Hunter deserves it. I mean, he's arguably the best player in football. I get it. Gentry did his thing, and he rushed for a good bajillion yards.
700 touchdowns or whatever?
Yeah, I don't want to take anything away from him. That's way more than I could run for and do. 100%. It's the Mountain West. Fair enough. Travis Hunter playing both ways at that level and the amount of snaps he played.
Good.
You know, I mean, to basically be like a number one lockdown cornerback and a number one receiver.
Right.
I think that's really, I mean, we haven't seen days like that since like good old C-Dub, Charles Woodson, you know? It's like, boy, when a player like that comes along,
So who do you think is going to be the number 1 overall pick?
Well, I think it's going to be Shador. I really do.
Do you think Shador's going to go over Travis?
I do. And it does come down to what team has the number 1 pick, right? Like Raiders are doing everything in their power to get that number 1 pick. We're like, if we're going to be good at something, it's going to be good at getting the number 1 pick. Like that's what we're going to win at.
That's what I dislike about the Dolphins.
Like, because they're just like right in the middle.
Yeah,
they got nothing.
Like you got a 10. You got to pick 11. You know,
not much to do there.
What are you going to do there?
So I mean, it is a toss up, but I do think with Shador being a little bit older, coming from the pedigree he comes with, I think the Raiders are just going to have to do it. The only option would be is that, you know, if you can trade back, if you can get some, if you can, I don't know how you get 2 top picks in the top 5. You had to go like full draft day Kevin Costner. But I mean, if you somehow you can end up with both of them, that'd be pretty dope.
That'd be dope.
But I just don't know because I think Shador is going to be a top quarterback that comes off the board. And the
I
first
think the
2
Oregon
teams,
quarterback's going to be pretty good.
The who?
Oregon.
Oh, Gabriel.
Yeah.
He's been a stud. But you also got Cam Ward. You know,
I mean, like Cam Ward.
They got him as the number 2. Like that's who I've seen. It comes down to number 1 and number 2 is with Cam Ward and
Cam
Shador.
Ward. I watched a lot of Cam Ward, and some of the things that he did were knucklehead plays because he wasn't a great quarterback, like perfect. But his defense failed him.
Yeah.
I mean, playing Syracuse and having 21 points up in the first quarter,
And then
losing by. I don't even remember what they lost by because it was just frustrating as hell to watch them lose. But so my 2 teams are out of it, so I really don't. It's like whatever. So I'm glad your Arizona State is in
we're gonna
it.
give it a run. Listen, we were plus 10,000 in the odds to win the Big 12. And
I'm not even saying that I'm going to root for them.
You are.
Because I might jinx them. So I don't want to root for them. Because I don't want to jinx them. I want them to keep going.
That's fair. Okay, I like it.
I hope they do get to the national championship game.
Boy.
You would be unstoppable.
Boy.
You would be unbearable.
I'd probably call like.
You'd be calling everybody saying, "Hey, bear down."
First of all, everybody's getting the bear down treatment. I got your bear down right here. Okay, listen. When it's when you have the opportunity, you got to capitalize. If ASU made it to the national championship,
Yep.
I
buying dinner for everybody.
call Keith or Brad,
Okay.
and I'm like, "How fast can you get me a HELOC on my house?
You're going to the national championship?
I need
No,
flight ticket. I need flight tickets and actual football tickets,
Going to Georgia? You'd be on a plane for 4 hours going to Georgia?
bro."
I want him to go I want him to go.
The last time we had a season like this, Jake the Snake Plumber was at the helm.
I want them to go just to see if you actually
Just to force my hand. I'm going HELOC, bro. I'm going home equity, line of credit. Let's go.
You are
Let's go.
Dude. First of all,
G5.
Oh, you gotta go private.
All right, listen, I've been watching this guy with the Amalfi Jets on TikTok.
Amalfi Jets.
I'm calling Colin at Amalfi, best friend of the show. Calling over to Amalfi Jets. I'm calling Colin.
I see him all the time on TikTok.
Oh, he's hilarious. I like listening to him.
Yeah.
I'm calling Colin over to Amalfi.
I love the people that call him and say, "Yeah, I need to get a flight and just charge it to my dad's account."
Yeah,
like,
I saw that lady.
yeah, we can't.
Yeah.
Your account has $1,000 in it.
Yeah.
Then she calls back and like, "Well, your dad deposited $2,000. Still is not enough for your flight."
I like it. I'm calling Colin. I'm getting Amalfi Jets. I'm going to the national championship.
We can call him right now. I got his number.
Okay.
We can call him right now. See how much it's going to cost you for this.
Oh, my goodness. So I had a question last night, and I'm going to get your take on it.
You have a question.
I was out with some clients last night showing some condos. By the way, a shout out to my clients last night. They were on a mission to get through these condos, and we saw 5 condos in an hour and 5 minutes.
Nice.
It was insane, and it was awesome, and it was all on their time schedule, but it was amazing. But I answered the question. I was like, things have been on the market, a little bit longer right now. What do you see the market? Are you guys busy? How have you been? And my answer was like, we're busy. Right. What do you tell people about the market right now, like this time of the year? Because I feel like that's a question that we get a lot, or at least I've had a lot of people ask me, like at holiday parties and stuff. It's like, oh, with the holidays, blah, blah, blah. Let
me pull out my crystal ball.
Okay, I like it.
I have no idea what the market's going to do.
Not what it's going to do. But do you tend to think this time of the year is busier, slower? Do you think it's because of the season? Do you think it's because of,
So typically this
agents in general?
Typically this time of the year is slower.
Okay.
And there's a couple reasons for that. Number one, we've eliminated about probably 70% of the agents aren't working. They're already on vacation mode. They've been on vacation mode
since June? Since March, since spring break, they went to Cabo and never came back mentally. Too soon. Too soon. Right, fair enough.
But typically that typically kills it.
Okay.
They're on vacation mode, and then you have buyers and sellers, right? So on the sellers are like, look, holidays are coming. I don't want to move in the middle of the holidays. And buyers are like, well, the goal was to get into a house before Christmas, not really get one through Christmas.
Okay.
So sometimes it's a combination of those things. That being said, we have 6 escrows. So we still are busy.
Right.
And it just depends on what their needs are. Like we have, a buyer and a seller that we're working with both, and one wants to sell and wants to get out of the house because they're not even in the house anymore, and one wants to buy because they want to rehab it and fix it and flip it.
Right.
So but typically this time of year when you get into December is when it starts to slow down. And usually you can have deals.
Well, and see so that was my next question, because I was going through some of the stats earlier in the week.
The statistician.
And
Stanford Steve over here.
I was looking at something. I was
actually Arizona Arnold. Arizona Aaron. That's what we're going to do. Instead of Stanford Steve, you're going to be Arizona Aaron.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I'm like an academic Aaron. Academia Aaron.
Okay, here we go. Arizona Aaron.
So actually, when I was meeting with one of our new agents and we were doing some training, we were on the portal and stuff, and we were going through some of I showed her like where the stats, and we we're looking at November. And I thought it was not interesting, but very telling that from October to November, new listings are down like 20%. and I was like, well, yeah, that it makes sense. I was like, explaining, she was like, you got the seasonality. A lot of people aren't putting their homes on the market during that time because they don't want to deal with it, have their house clean at all times, and in and out and showings during the holiday seasons.
Right.
However, buyers, they don't really care because you got to buy when that house is available. So some buyers are still active in doing things because it's like, hey, well, this house is available. This is what I've been looking for. Right. But what I thought was interesting was the listings, although down month to month, were still like 9-10% above November of last year.
Right.
So although it is a slower time of the year for new listings, we are still continuing to see that inventory rise. And I think it's interesting. I mean, like you said, we've got 6 now. We put a new one in yesterday. We just sent an offer over this morning. So it's like people are still cooking, man. And like you said, I think it's because maybe there's deals to be had because it's like there's not as many shoppers out right now. I don't know.
I don't think there's as many shoppers. And I think that some of the sellers are like, well, if we go into the new year, because when you go into the first quarter, then money gets tight.
Sure.
Now people are paying off the money that's
the holidays were.
Yeah. So it's tricky. Mm. But there could be deals, and there are deals to be had. We just have to make sure that you still work.
Right.
That's the thing.
Right.
So it's funny because we part of the ALC we have to teach. We have to train a class. Okay. We don't have to teach a class. So,
and Educator Ed?
Educator Ed picked Know Your Job as the class.
Know Your Job. Okay. Oh, enlighten us.
Well, I think that because a lot of people take this as, like we were joking around today when I got the call, right, with that guy, with Felix, with the Indian accent. Felix.
Oh, that guy. Yes. The guy we tried to get.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
The guy that said, hey, I'm here to lend you. How much money do you need to grow your business?
Yeah.
And I said, I need $1 million. He goes, What do you need $1 million for? And we said, I'm going to buy Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he said, well, I thought the Ogre Network is real estate. I'm like, yeah, that's my side hustle. And we were doing it in jest because we're trying to see how long we can keep him on the phone. Yeah. He's like, well, we can't lend you money for Bitcoin. I'm like, all right, no problem.
We're just testing out different salesmen and see what strategies work. Right.
We tried the hookers and blow, and that didn't work well. We tried that one.
That one didn't go over well.
No, that one he was a little angry at me with that one.
Yeah.
So now we tried Bitcoin, that didn't work. So I don't know what the next one's gonna be. Maybe I'm gonna tell him I want tickets to the inauguration, so I need $1 million to be able to buy them.
Okay.
So I can sit next to the president.
We did talk to some clients today that are marijuana business owners. So maybe we ask them, for an investment into opening a cannabis store.
Oh, we could do that one. Yeah,
that one might be good.
We gotta see how we're gonna mess with this person.
Okay.
But my point is, like, I just said it jokingly, but how many people actually treat real estate as the side hustle instead of your main business?
That's a good point.
Right. So that's why I wanted to train. Hopefully, there'll be a lot of agents there and a lot of new agents, and because I think most of us in our world treat this as a job. We're here every day. We plug in. We're here most of the day. Even on this week that's like a laid back week, we've still been leaving 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
And still plugging away and still trying to get deal closed up, and get things done. So I want to talk to the people that are doing this class and figure out, okay, what do you think your job really is? And are you doing your job? And do you expect to get massive results without doing a job?
It's really interesting because when I hear you say that and I look back at, like starting this aspect of it, 4 or 5 years ago, and then, selling my other business, because for a while for me, I still had my bread and butter was my other company, and it was kind of, I wouldn't say it was on autopilot, but it is a mature business. And so I was able to do real estate a little bit more, but I was never 100% until this year. And it is a little scary, I think, for people that have not been in a sales position or a real estate position. I don't think they realize that it is a job. Like you said, like I think they think like I thought. I'm going to come in. Here's Kelly Williams. Great. Where's my desk that I get to sit at? And, like when does the phone start ringing? Because I'm here for it. And then like you get into these little cubicles. Like I sat in this cubicle for a while. I was like, huh. So the phone just doesn't ring. People like where are the clients? Like is this like I thought it was like a retail center, like Target or something. You know, people like walk in and they need to buy stuff, and you just help them buy stuff. But it's like, oh, this is different. And so I think what happened is a lot of people, they're not prepared for that, and I don't think the industry does a good job, like preparing people for that.
You think
Like
$1 million listing does a good job?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like all these people that you see and all these people like, oh my gosh, like you see this guy at the gym. What do you do? He's driving a Ferrari or a Range Rover. You're like, what do you do? Oh, I'd sell real estate, or I'm in real estate, whatever. Like, well, first you don't know if they sell it, they invest in it, they build it, you know, they are a property management guy. Like, you don't know.
Yeah, because people just use the I'm in real estate.
Exactly. It's so broad. Well, and then you're like, okay, well, well, great. I'm getting in real estate. Like, I don't know. Maybe that guy's been in like you, 20, 25 years of real estate. Maybe he was dead broke driving a Pinto, or they still make Pintos? I don't know. I was going to say Honda Civic, but I don't know. Maybe that's a nice car these days. I don't want to beat up Honda, sponsor of the show. No, they're not, but they should be. I don't know. But people think they get this false realization because, like, I even come to you still, and I'm just like, you know, because it's so easy.
You're an overthinker.
I'm an overthinker. I am an overthinker. But I think people get nervous because they're like, because you don't get regular paychecks.
Right.
And some people are not used to that. And so they always think real estate's a side hustle. But it's like, oh, this will be perfect. Real estate will be my bonus money. And then I'll drive Uber or I'll work here. But it's like, I think you told people before, even on our team, like, okay, well then what happens in the middle of the day at 2:00 when your client calls and needs to go see a house? Right. You know, like yesterday I had to take off to go, or that wasn't yesterday. Yesterday, 5:00 I had to make changes to go see that. The day before, 3:00 to go showing. Today we had to move an appointment from 9:30 to 3:30. Right. Well, like what if we had a shift somewhere else? Like, not that saying it's bad for those people, but it's so hard to make this your job if you don't make it your job.
Right. And that's the thing, it's just. And then are you truly, if you're not in it every day and you don't get a pulse on what's going on in the market and what's going on with the deals and new stuff that comes out that could, new rules and laws and stuff, because we're here. So when something changes, we usually get told by somebody right away, whether it's a lender that tells us, hey, this just changed, or a buyer, or right now we have one that appraisal says, hey, the house is not in condition for me to compare it to other houses. Well, okay, I've never heard that before, but that's their option. Yesterday we heard hard money. They wanted an appraisal. I'm like, okay, I've never heard that before. Mm-hmm. So we hear these things, and I wonder what is it that we can. I don't know how you could do real estate part-time and not know all of these things and then be comfortable doing a deal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or be comfortable like yesterday when we had that situation.
Sure.
With the buyer. Which still was a situation for you uncomfortable.
Oh, my gosh.
Because you would not have done that.
No.
But snap back and be like, hey, you guys are lying to us and you're telling me the incorrect information and you want me to help you and you want to throw it on me that I'm not doing my best for you. But every time I turn around, I get a different story.
Yeah.
And you're lying to me.
Yeah, that was wild. That was a wild situation because, and I told you after, it's like I thought about it and I was like, that's how I used to behave and act in my previous business.
Right.
Because I had done it for 20 years. I knew every inch of it. I knew it backwards and forwards. And if it happened, I've seen it or like I've been part of it. Right. And where real estate is so ongoing and growing and changing. And for someone like yourself, who's been in it 20, 25 years, compared to me, who's, 4 or 5 years, but full time, not that long. It's like I still have that thing. It's like, okay, I want to make sure I understand this right. Like I want to make sure I understand this right. And I'm thinking about this stuff that you're saying. I'm like, okay, I guess sounds right. Like I would think so too. But the way that you were just so confident, you're just like basically like, hey, listen, bro, eat it. This is what it is. This is the deal. Like, you lie. I'm trying everything I can, but I can only, if you tell me your tires are broken and I fix the tires, but it's actually your carburetor that's broken, like your car ain't going to work. And that's basically what you kept dealing with was faulty information. People kept changing the story and, you caught them in lies and stuff. But watching you handle that situation, and that's what, also to your point, being here, being in the office, and I know a lot of people like, oh, you shouldn't be in an office. It's going to distract you, whatever. And, you should be at home. I get it. But watching that moment, it just makes I was replaying it in my head over and over. It's like, okay, how do I take some of that and apply it to how I operate,
Right.
and
there was a new agent there, and I think she was like, "Oh my god!"
Luckily, she comes from a very intense background and high pressure background where I don't think she was phased all that much. But we both turned and were like, "Welcome to real estate."
That's
like,
it.
Isn't this what they show you on TV? Like, this is what it's going to be like, right?
This
So
is
she's
the way.
supposed to be back at 3:00 today. We'll see.
We'll see if she actually shows up. Well, it's funny because when we were talking to this person that may be entering our stratosphere, I was telling him, I don't know if you were there or not when I told him. I was like, yeah, luckily we have a group of people that are very good at calming and soothing. The only irrational person is me.
Yeah, I was there for that. Yeah.
I'm the only one that's going to go off on people.
Yeah, it's but you gotta have the ebbs and flows, man. You gotta have the yin and the yang, baby. That was like this morning where I was like, I'm just gonna have to make this phone call. Like, we got news this morning that changed stuff, and I'm like, I'd been communicating via text. I'm like, this one's just going to have to be a phone call. I got to rip it off, go for it, because I don't want to lose tonality and anything.
Right.
And I was so happy I made the phone call instead of the text because it turned into like a 20-minute conversation that was just freaking awesome conversation. But it wouldn't have come through the same way with text.
Is any conversation with you under 20 minutes?
Not that many.
Just asking.
I like people. I like to talk to people. I like to talk to people, man. Well, see, what's funny about that? Here we go. I'll start all over again.
Oh, here we go.
We so after all of our baseball games, we typically have a meeting with the boys in the outfield or something, and there was 2 weeks ago.
Did you cry?
No.
Oh, okay.
There was 2 weeks ago. We were 1-0 heading into our Saturday night game. We win out. We get a nice break in Sunday morning. We have a much easier path to a championship, and the boys just laid an egg. And I don't, like straight out of that Instagram guys, like, if you're telling me there's winners and losers, whatever, like winners and losers doesn't matter to me. I'm not saying it all has to be fun and stuff, but like, I want the effort.
Right.
Like, that's what I want. If you go out and you lose and you gave 100% and that team was just better than they beat you, hey, listen, that's going to happen. But at the end of it, I can normally, I'm not a big talker of baseball because especially that time of the night, I'm like, let's get out of here, guys.
Right.
But I said about 3 things. And I'm like, but. And my buddy called me the next morning. He goes, because I got home last night and I told my wife, you were hot. I was like, I didn't really even say anything. He goes, that's how I knew you were hot. Because I the 3 things that I said, I was just like, it's like embarrassing. Like, you don't be proud of that effort. Like, I could say, I don't care, win or lose, but like, give me the effort, give me the attitude, give me heart. Like, you guys laid an egg. It was embarrassing to watch.
You look like you were laying an egg.
You look like it. You look like clowns out here. Like, we're better than that. I was piss poor. And like, I was out. And he's like, I knew you were hot. Like, so if I don't talk a lot,
that's what happens.
I'm fired.
You're fuming.
I'm fired up.
You're fuming
until it just pows. Yeah. I'm gonna pow it, right? Oh. But I don't have the pow in real estate yet. Like, that's where I'm trying to get my pow back. My last one, I had it because I was the industry expert on that. So now I'm on my way. But
so now you're the boy wonder. You're Robin.
Are you saying you're Batman?
Of course.
It's funny, Batman and Robin. I started watching Suits last night.
Oh,
I'm like,
Harvey.
So Suits is one of those things
Specter.
Like, I don't like a lot of conflict. So like in that show, there's a lot of awkward moments and conflict. So like sometimes I watch it and I start having like the shakes and like I'm like, no, don't do it. Like I know it's a TV show and I know but I'm still like, and I'm like, you know what? This is gonna make me a better, like in my brain, like, yeah, come at me, like I get it, right? And I'm like, maybe this makes me a tougher person, like gutting through and watching Suits. Because it is high intensity, a lot of good verbiage, a lot of like back and forth, like, and we have some of that in our industry too, like high pressure situations, holding your ground,
And you said Harvey Specter, now I feel like wearing a suit. Oh, like, it's awesome.
So I think I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna rewatch it all.
Birthday is mine. We have the same birthday.
You and Harvey?
Harvey Specter and I have the same birthday.
All right, I'm gonna rewatch it. I'm gonna rewatch it from the beginning, I think.
Ooh.
I'm gonna see how long it takes me.
So are you Mike, or are you, or are you, what's his name?
Rachel?
No.
Louis Litt?
Louis Litt.
No, I don't think I'm Louis Litt. I don't think I'm Louis Litt.
I'm definitely Harvey Specter. So
okay,
somebody has to get somebody else.
So Mercy is Donna.
Mercy's Donna.
She's Donna for sure. Yeah, Amanda's gonna have to fill in and be Rachel.
Rachel. Yeah, she could
okay.
be Rachel because
Yeah.
Rachel's like not aggressive. Really behind
very
the scenes.
very lovable, but
Yeah.
a lot of research, a lot of
Yep.
a lot of smarts. Okay,
Yep,
I get that
yep.
out of her. I'm just the loose cannon guy that works like a summer associate. I'm gonna be.
I don't know if Mercy's really Donna,
Who do you think she would be?
the CEO that took over.
See, I got to go back and rewatch all that. I forget. It's been so long since I've watched it.
Hold on, I'm gonna Google.
Not the Hartman guy, right?
No, not Phil Hartman. Hartman's too nice.
What was the one gal?
That one
Pearson.
gal. I think so.
Jessica.
Jessica. That's more Mercy.
Okay. I could see that. I could see her across with both because they're similar.
They're similar, but see the thing is, Donna was like tried to get things done a different way, like a little more diplomatic. Mm-hmm. Jessica was like in your face.
Okay, fair, and that is Mercy's style. Okay,
Mercy's more Jessica.
Okay,
I don't know. I think we need to ask her.
I think I'm gonna have to watch it and figure out who I'm gonna be. I'd like to think. Okay, I guess I kind of like Mike. Like newer to the industry. I feel like I do retain information well, but yet still need the big dog Harvey to lay the lumber.
And every once in a while, you overpromise and underdeliver.
On what?
I'm kidding.
Brutal.
Well, the one thing you and Mike don't have in common is you actually have a license, so you're good.
That is true. That is true, folks. You heard it here first.
You have a license.
I am licensed.
So you're good. We're not trying to pretend
true.
you have a license.
That's true. That's a good point. I'm glad we brought that up.
That's why I wanted to clarify that.
Okay.
Because I could just see everybody in the comments be like, "Oh, he doesn't have a license. He's just like Mike." No, you have a license.
I want to be
You're
like
good.
Mike. Yep, got the license. Had it. Google it. Search it up, as the kids would say. Search it up.
Oh, we got an interesting call today. I think we'll end on this because this was really good. So I got a call this morning, and one of our properties has a very similar address to another property. And that property's been off the market for about a year.
Okay.
So every time they call, I get confused on the properties. So somebody called and said, "Hey, I'm calling for," we'll just use 123 Main Street for now.
Okay.
And I was like, "Oh, no, that house has been off the market forever." She's like, "Really? Because I'm supposed to buy it." I'm like, "Oh, so I guess it's not the one I was thinking." Hold on, let me look it up.
What you're talking about. Okay, yeah.
I was like, "Let me look it up because I got it wrong." And I looked it up and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, it's in escrow." She's like, "Oh, because I thought I canceled." And I'm like, okay. First of all, who are you?
Right.
Like, I don't know who you are. Are you the agent?
Right.
Or it's our listing. Are you the agent? Or are you somebody else? Like, she's like, "No, I'm the buyer." I'm like, "Okay, perfect." Then she starts asking me all these questions. And I really feel uncomfortable sometimes when another person's client calls us.
Yeah, sure.
Right? Because number one, we have respect for each other in the industry. We shouldn't be, out prospecting, trying to push somebody's clients.
Yeah,
I don't want to
100%.
do that at all. But I was like, okay, so let's talk about just this transaction. This is where we are. This is what I want to do. We're waiting for some information on an HOA. And she's like, "Well, they told me I was going to lose my deposit." I'm like, "Well, I can tell you, we're not going to keep your deposit. Like, that's just not what we do. If you want to hang on to the deal till January, till we get the information we need from the HOA, when they have their next board meeting, we'll do that." She was like, "Okay." And then all of a sudden, she started asking questions. She's like, "You do investments, don't you?" I'm like, "Yep, I work with investors a lot." "Oh, okay. Yeah, because I saw and I know this is what's going to get you excited. I saw your YouTube, and I Googled you, and I found that you guys have a podcast, and you do a bunch of different things, and you talk about investments a lot, and you do investments. Can I talk to you about those?" And I was like, "Well, you have an agent, so I don't want to step on your agent's toe." She goes, No. My agent understands. Whatever's in my best interest. And talking to you about investments in the future is going to be the best. I'm like, "Okay, well, this transaction I can't talk to you about.
Yeah.
Because you already have somebody representing you. But if you want to talk about the other," she's like, "Okay." She texts me her information, says, "I look forward to working with you." And it's funny because I'm the traditional older school, want to make phone calls and want to talk to people. And you're the new wave. Let's put everything on Instagram and social media and everything. And I think we needed both because she called.
100%.
She called, so you got to give me credit. She called,
I do.
And she wanted to talk, but she said I researched you.
Yeah, we live in that day. We live in that age.
So it's funny because as much as we, as people, right, don't like social media so much, and don't want to be on social media. If we're in sales and we're in public sales, not that we work at a retail center or whatever, not to knock them,
right.
but they're not going out and dealing with the general public all the time.
Right.
But we are dealing with the general public, and I think it's important that whether you're on our team or you're on your own, that you start creating a social media. Maybe we need to create a training around that. And bring it out to the masses on how to create the buyer's guides and the sellers academies and all the stuff that you do that you have the quick, because you have the quick draw McGraw where somebody calls up and somebody calls up and says, hey, I need information on what is escrow. Are you on the buy side or slow side? You're on the buy side. Hold on. Bam! It goes right out to them.
B2. See ya.
There you go. B2. And what about a seller? I need to know what's going on with the home inspection.
There you go.
As a seller, what's the one for that one?
I don't remember. I think it's like an S5. They're labeled B and B 1 through 10 and S like 1 through like 12. But I agree with you.
So let me guess. I'm going to take a wild guess here.
Yes, you're right.
Oh, you know what I'm going to ask?
What?
B is for buyers.
Yes.
S is for sellers.
Yes.
Oh,
there you go.
Bro, I'm brainiac. The brain.
And then anybody who I talk to, M1. You can figure out what M stands for.
No.
Me.
Oh, you.
So M1 is me. So it has like my information, like my name, the Keller Williams, the I license, and then it sends out it attaches the link to my link tree, which then has all, you can save my contact. You can go to the YouTube. You can go to the seller's guide, buyer's guide, Facebook. Hey, listen, everybody's got a niche, buddy. Everybody's got a niche. But I think you're right.
Trees, that's what they're used for. Kidding.
I have a
link tree too.
Everybody, like, in this world, when somebody says that, it was just like today. Here's a perfect example. We just live in the age where you have to adapt. And it doesn't mean you have to completely erase old school. Calling, farming, open houses, postcards. I think it's just adding.
Right.
But I got a text message today, and we were talking about my boy, Checo, is going to Mercedes.
Yep.
And I was like, there goes the Mexican Mafia leaving Red Bull. I had my guys dialed, and he went to Mercedes. But as soon as that happens, what do? Mercy jumps on
Googling.
Right onto the computer. Google, right? So I think it's the same thing. We got all the answers, and you can start to research it. So I think in this day and age, if somebody calls you, they get your information. They want to know, I'm talking to this guy, Ed Rossi. Let me even look. Who is this chump? And like, actually, he's not a chump. Okay, here's this. Here's his YouTube. Click on a couple videos. Okay, seems like a pretty big, so I do think in this day of research, it's so imperative to have this stuff.
So, question for you. Did you notice who was all over the F1? It was you and Mercy. I was trying to throw information in, but I didn't know what I was talking about. Because that's not my gig.
Yeah.
And I told you, I still think the best team ever, if I owned a team, would be Lando and Max.
That's pretty powerful on paper. Could the egos last?
Lando doesn't have an ego.
Say that now.
No, he does, because when Oscar passed him,
yeah, I was going to say. No, you get both those guys over there. Ask them who's the number one car, who's the number 2 seat.
Well, I think you would have to go with based on wins. Like if you put Hamilton and Verstappen together. Who's the number one?
I think they both lose because they take each other out going around turn 2.
I've seen so many videos of them taking each other out. They've taken each other out so many times. It's crazy.
Wild.
All right, brother. You have a Merry Christmas.
Yep.
A Happy New Year. And let's crush next year.
Happy New Year.
Let's crush 2025. And good luck to Arizona State.
Yeah, baby.